A bright region has rotated into Earth view that's giving amateur radio operators something to smile about. And that mini solar storm that we expected looks like it might be a no-show. Those stories and more in the news this week. Space weather this week has remained quiet. We do have an active region that has rotated into Earth view. You can see it there off of the sun's east limb, and it has managed to boost the solar flux, so you amateur radio operators and emergency responders, you are enjoying marginal propagation again on the bands on Earth's day side. And this could continue easily for the next 2 weeks as this region rotates across the Earth-facing disk. Now, as far as you Aurora photographers are concerned, we do have a remnant coronal hole that is rotating through the Earth strike zone right now, but unfortunately the part of this coronal hole that actually was giving us the best chance for some fast wind, it looks like it was too far south, and so the fast wind is actually going below Earth, if that makes any sense. The Earth is too far north, so it doesn't look like we're going to get a solar storm from this, from any of this fast wind. We might actually see unsettled conditions, maybe a little bit of turbulent wind, but outside of that, it's probably not going to give us very much. And this means you poor Aurora photographers are going to have to put your cameras on standby easily for the next 2 weeks. Switching to our M-flare threat meter, you can see we've actually had a bit of activity with the X-ray flux and also the solar flux. We were popping a few mini flares here and there back around the beginning of the month. That was from region 2712, and you can see as it rotated off the sun's west limb, the X-ray flux just died, and the solar flux died along with it. But it only lasted a day or so before you can see the X-ray flux ramp back up again. That's from region 2713 coming into Earth view. Now, since then, we are back into marginal propagation for the amateur radio bands. This is good news for you guys, and it looks like it will continue to be like this as long as region 2713 stays alive. Switching to your solar storm conditions, you can see the last time we actually hit storm levels was clear back on June 1st. And once that solar storm settled down a bit, we've been kind of bouncing around unsettled conditions. We did manage to reach active conditions for a short while due to a stealthy solar storm that we just couldn't detect. But it didn't last all that long, and now we're back to unsettled, even quiet conditions, and likely this will continue over the next few days because most of the fast wind is south of Earth right now, and we might get a little bit of a boost in activity over the next couple days as this remnant hole pushes through the Earth strike zone, but most likely it's going to be close to quiet, and these conditions are going to continue for the next 2 weeks. So what else does the sun have in store for us this week? Well, this is stereo A. It's our backside monitor. You can see here's Earth, here's the sun, and here's stereo A staring at the sun from behind. And what you immediately see are two bright regions on the backside of the sun. Well, the one that is to the right of the sun, that's stereo's west limb, that's the region that we already see in Earth view. So that region, we already know what it's doing, and that's boosting the solar flux for us amateur radio operators and emergency responders. And now we also see on the left side of the sun, that's stereo's east limb, we see a bigger active region, and it's even brighter and even more active than the one that's already in Earth view. So what's nice is that we have a chance here to really get some solar flux boosted in the next couple weeks as this region rotates into Earth view as well. We'll have two regions in Earth view here probably in the next 2 weeks. We also look like we have another finger of a coronal hole, that dark hole that's beneath that region. That will be rotating back into Earth view, so we also have another chance for a solar storm here in the next couple weeks. Switching to your solar storm conditions and aurora possibilities over the coming week, we were expecting to get hit by that mini solar storm from some fast wind from that tiny finger-like part of the coronal hole that has been pushing through the Earth strike zone. But from stereo observations, it looks like most likely that fast wind is actually going beneath Earth. Earth is just a little bit too far north to be hit by it. So over the next few days, we might get, I don't know, a wisp of it here and there, but nothing that's too intense. At high latitudes, NOAA is expecting unsettled conditions with only about a 20 to 25% chance of a minor storm. At mid latitudes, we're expecting unsettled conditions with only about a 10 to 15% chance of active conditions. And these kind of sleepy conditions should last easily through this next week and probably into next week. So your Aurora photographers, well, you're going to have to take a little vacation. Switching to your solar flare and particle radiation storm outlook over the coming week, everything is still in the green when it comes to solar flares. We have no risk for radio blackouts. We do have a single numbered region on the Earth-facing disk right now. That's region 2713, and it is boosting the solar flux for you amateur radio operators and emergency responders. This is really good news. It's bumped us back into marginal propagation conditions on Earth's day side. And the cool thing is that we actually might get an extra boost from yet another active region that could be rotating into Earth view here in the next week, so we could boost those conditions even more. So the bands might actually be hopping here in the next week or so. So the space weather this week remains reasonably quiet. You Aurora photographers, I know we were hoping to get hit by that mini-solar storm, but it looks like the fast solar wind is going south of Earth, and this means we're probably not going to get more than unsettled conditions over the next week or so, which means probably not very good Aurora views even at high latitudes. So you guys may need to just kind of rest up for the next couple weeks till we get another chance at a decent solar storm. Now, you amateur radio operators, on the other hand, you guys are loving life because we've got a new region that's rotated into Earth view and it's boosted the solar flux so that we're back into marginal conditions for radio propagation. And what's even better is in about a week, we should get yet another region rotating into Earth view that will boost the solar flux even more. This is perfect timing for field day, don't you think? So the bands really may be hopping in about a week or so. Now, you GPS operators, well, you should be enjoying some decent signals, pretty clean signals on Earth's day side, but just know if you're at low latitudes, in about a week, when we get that extra solar flux boost, you might see a few more issues than normal for a solar minimum sun. I'm Tamitha Scove. Thank you for watching.